There are Sonic games that I think most sane people can agree are without a doubt bad, like Shadow the Hedgehog, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, and Sonic Adventure 2. I said it, therefore it must be true. But there are also the Sonic games everyone agrees are great, like Sonic 2, Sonic Generations, and Sonic Heroes. Again, I hear you typing away, but guess what? I'm the one in the video. My opinion is law on this domain. Then you get to the games where opinions are a lot more divisive. You got your Sonic Unleashed, your Sonic and the Black Knights. But the Sonic game that I think has the most split perception is 2013's Sonic Lost World. Some people think this game was a great way of evolving Sonic with Fear of the Boost gameplay becoming more stale, while others think it started the second Dark Age, only a couple years after Sonic got out of the first one. Well, second one? I don't know. Can we stop having eras and just classify Sonic games as either the good ones or the shit ones? After Sonic 06, Takashi Iizuka had stated that he wanted to take Sonic in a new direction, one that focused less on dark tones and a serious story. aka he wanted to start making baby games for babies. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics was really the launching point of this, and then they sort of went back on that with Unleashed since it also focused a lot on story. But remember, Unleashed was in development for a good few years, so by the time Iizuka decided to take a step back with the franchise, Unleashed was probably too far into production to be overhauled. But the game that most likely started development around the time Iizuka stated this is a clear indicator of Sonic's new direction: Sonic Colors. This isn't a Sonic Colors video, so I'll just say it and Generations are good games. The story is shit and simple in both of them, and that was clearly intentional. It's what Sonic needed at the time, so I can't really fault them for that. Especially since they proved once and for all Sonic can release consistently good 3D games. Now they can continue to evolve the formula, with a new game that succeeds on all fronts. Great gameplay, great story, original levels. Okay, so what happened here? That's what I want to know. I get working on nothing but Sonic games must get boring after a bit, but why go this far astray when you had something so good going? What was the thought process, Iizuka? Sonic Lost World ditches everything Sega had built up from Unleashed, being handled by the director of Sonic Colors, and it shows. When a few members of that team started to experiment on streamlining the controls of Sonic, increasing game length so it's not over in 2 hours, I guess they gave up on that idea, and adding more diverse levels to the game, which is why we have candy levels in Desert World or casino levels in Ice Worlds. And since people for some reason liked the stories in Colors and Generations, Sega decided to give Ken Pontac and Warren Graff free reign with this game, and so they took the dumb Saturday morning cartoon vibe to its absolute limit with this one. And guess what, it fucking sucks. So the plot of this game is that while trying to rescue some flickies from Dr. Eggman, Sonic and Tails crash land on this mysterious planet known as the Lost Hex. It's all we ever learn about it. On this planet are the Deadly Six, a group of ogre-like creatures called the Zeti that are inhabitants, I guess? Again, they never really go into it. Eggman uses his magic conch that he has for some reason to make the Zeti do his will. Despite Eggman not making it clear that's where he was headed, I thought it was implied that Sonic and Tails just happened to crash land and find it there. Whatever, they clearly didn't care, so neither will I. After he loses his magic conch, the Zeti take control of Eggman's army, and so he and Sonic have to team up for the very first time. The very first time. Oh yeah, I forgot, continuity is no longer a thing in this franchise. The Zeti suck. Sega cleverly designed them so that you could tell exactly what their personalities are just by looking at them. And by that I mean they made their personalities as generic and blatant as possible. Leader, crazy, old, fat, girl, and emo. That's what they boil down to, and I'm sick of them trying to make them a thing. Stop trying to make Zeti happen. It's not going to happen. It seems like they haven't gotten the memo as at least one of the Zeti have appeared in every mainline modern Sonic game since Lost World. But either way, this story is a pile of shit. The writing is some of the worst the series has ever had. It's not a big deal in Generations because that game has like, what, 2 cutscenes? But every second level of Lost World has a pointless cutscene where they have to set up the Zeti you're gonna fight because we know literally nothing about them. Things just happen in this story for no reason. How about when Tails gets turned into a robot only to immediately be fine? That's the second time Pontac have done this stupid fucking trope. Oh yeah, and I can't forget about Knuckles and Amy being there for emotional support, I guess. Except they have about 12 seconds of screen time in the end and do nothing. Why are they standing in a field throughout this entire ordeal? Why aren't you protecting the Master Emerald? Why aren't you at least helping Sonic and Tails? Some people get pissy when you bring up issues like that and call it nitpicking, but they literally gave Knuckles a specific role that tied into his personality of being more reclusive, and completely ditched that. Also, where are the Chaos Emeralds? I mean, they're in this game, but like, in the story, where are the Chaos Emeralds? I bet Sega really regrets the Chaos Emeralds at this point because they've been desperately trying to get away from using them as a solution in every story, even in the ones where it makes no sense for them to not get the Chaos Emeralds. How about what could laughably be called our arc for this game, where Sonic needs to learn to take it slow sometimes and to look before he leaps? What, you didn't even realize that was an arc? Yeah, it's almost like Sega hires incompetent writers who have literally admitted to getting their Sonic knowledge off of Wikipedia. I'm not petty, you are. I mean, at least they somewhat tried. Unlike these abysmal excuses for comedy. Comedy is subjective, and I think we can all subjectively believe the baby humor in recent Sonic games is so fucking garbage. I have no idea how two grown men can sit down and confidently write these lines. I always preferred when Sonic was trying to be like a shonen anime. The focus of the Sonic game shouldn't be about telling jokes, it should be about the characters and working off their relationships with one another. Character dynamics are like the core of every Sonic game, it's why Team Dark works so well. You can tell they're all close friends, not afraid to rip into each other while still having their backs. Until Iizuka changed his mind and said they're not friends anymore. This is why we can't have nice things. But it's why Forces failed so much. It's like they forgot to map out each character's personality before they started writing, so you don't actually feel like you're watching these characters since they all just stand around like planks of wood delivering their cringy lines. And does Sonic Lost World have humorous moments? Sure, maybe like one if I'm being generous. But Sega really needs to stop hiring incompetent people, and maybe, I don't know, bring back the guy who has written the best stories and has been open about the fact that he wants to write more. I'm sorry, but this game just looks so boring. It's your most generic take on classic Sonic aesthetics, or at least what Sega believes that to be. Sonic Generations perfectly translated the world of classic Sonic into 3D, along with its enemies, but Lost World completely shits all over that with this Fisher-Price looking crap. The enemies don't even look threatening anymore, they've all been babified. Instead of getting gold rings, we now get flicky capsules like the classics. If you wanted to make a 3D classic Sonic game, make a 3D classic Sonic game, Sega. Just Iizuka said this was to make objects stand out more against the backgrounds and keep their game running at 60 FPS. Really? This man spews so much shit out of his mouth. Whoever played Sonic Colors or Sonic Generations and thought, this game looks great, but I hate how I can't make out the objects. Yeah, no, that never happened. The graphics are great, don't get me wrong, like on a technical level this game is gorgeous, but the art style is atrocious. You know what Sonic needed more of? Minecraft trees. People loved Sonic because of the lush, vast landscapes that stood out from the norm, that blended real-world architecture with surreal locations. But no, yeah, how about your most basic grass, desert, beach, snow, jungle, sky, and lava theme? They claim to have been inspired by Jack and the Beanstalk for the Twisted Tube levels, and wanted an experience of going down the rabbit hole like Alice in Wonderland. It's like a bunch of chili dogs, you never know what you're gonna get. And each level makes you experience strange and fun challenges. Okay, so how about make like a game called Sonic Goes to Bizarro World? Like Sonic just goes to this completely weird and creepy dimension and has to get out. Therefore, the story can focus on the weirdness of the world, instead of it just making the world building confusing, since Sonic spends the entire game just elevated on this random terrain floating in midair. Instead, we get the brand new experience of playing each level over and over again, just with a different coat of paint. And maybe that is what they wanted to do. I mean, the game is called Sonic Lost World, but we never actually get any insight on what this Lost World is. And that's clearly because Sega felt too many serious or exposition cutscenes would cause game journalists to make fun of them for being too serious, and so they backed out. Alright, so to talk about the actual game for a bit, it's actually what I like the most. In an attempt to simplify Sonic's controls, they made them as complicated as ever. This game boasts Sonic brand new, never before seen abilities, like parkour, running on walls, grabbing ledges. Never seen Sonic do that before. Sonic has been given a run button, which a lot of people make the stupid fucking joke about, but I think it's better off that way. In a game like this where you're usually stuck in small enclosed areas, it's a good way to control your speed. The level design is incredibly basic. There are almost no alternate paths unless you want to count stuff like, run down this path to get to the goal, or you could run down this path to get to the goal. None of it makes a difference in the end, and it doesn't help that the game never actually utilizes Sonic's new parkour abilities. I heard the 3DS version does a better job at that, but that version is fucking trash and I don't want to play it. The other new move Sonic has received is the kick attack, so certain enemies require to be kicked before homing attacking. There is no indication whatsoever of which enemies need to be kicked first, but don't worry, it's only a massive fucking oversight. Speaking of the homing attack, remember how boring it is to actually play a Sonic game and have to press A over and over again? Well, how about they add multiple reticles to every enemy you're merely looking at, so you can just press A twice and literally let the game play itself for you. Another bright idea from the folks over at Sonic Team. I tip my fedora to you. And in their next stroke of genius, they've decided to add the wisps back from colors, giving us some returning ones along with brand new wisps who were for some reason on the Lost Hex, like Bomb, Asteroid, Eagle, and Rhythm. They all suck. They contribute nothing. Even Izuka stated that they would only be used as an additional tool in the Wii U version. So if they're not necessary, and also not fun, why include them? Sega has a serious issue of not letting something die. People didn't like Sonic Colors because of the wisps. People liked Sonic Colors because it was fun. But since then, every single Sonic game has included the wisps in some form, but none of them have included fun. Sonic has been stripped of his boost, and given back the Spindash for this adventure, and oh boy did they handle it poorly, much like everything else. Okay, so first off, the biggest oversight is how the animations are for some reason reversed. Like he should be leaning while revving up, and in his complete ball while moving. It makes no sense, Sega, it makes no fucking sense. So you charge up the Spindash, then let it go for a pitiful excuse for speed. But what the game doesn't explain to you is that if you then hold the charge button again, you can do this infinite Spindash that's way more useful and should have been the default. You can also do this. I just think it's neat. There are a lot of things this game doesn't tell you can do. Like infinitely parkour on walls, do flips over edges. With a brand new control scheme, they really should have done a better job at explaining this to a player. On top of all this, the big bad villains the game boasts about can be taken care of within count 'em two, homing attacks. Then for the final Zeddy Zavok, they shamelessly rip off every Mario game as if they weren't already making that painfully obvious. After this, Eggman predictably betrays Sonic, and we fight a rehash of the Sonic Colors boss. And Sonic does what he wishes we would all do while playing this game, and sleeps. No, I know what you're thinking. But Splash Dash, all you've done this entire video was bitch about this game. I thought you said you liked it. Yeah, I don't know. I still kinda like this game, but when someone asks me why, I just can't come up with a good reason. I like this game at the end of the day, but I still understand it really isn't what Sonic needed at the time, and in retrospect, isn't very good. At the end of the day, Sonic Lost World would have never worked because it's just fundamentally flawed. It completely lacks any sort of identity, and is never confident in any one of its 50 different gameplay styles that it randomly throws at you. But the worst thing this game did was kick off Sega and Nintendo's exclusivity partnership, where they agreed to make 3 exclusive Sonic games for Wii U. If it weren't for that, they wouldn't have tried so hard to appeal to Nintendo fans with this game, aka babies. And then maybe Boom would have came out alright if it were on PC and PlayStation 4 and Xbox. I mean, the Olympics game still would have sucked, but who even remembers that one? Sonic would be in a very different place right now if it weren't for that deal, and a part of me feels like we're living in the worst timeline because of it. Anyways, moral of the story, fire Ken Pontac and Warren Graf.